Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic, and welcome to this very special episode of Tarot Readings by Janine. You can find my guests, of course, at Sending Ravens here on YouTube and also at Tarot by Janine. Janine, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Jean-Claude. Hi, everybody.
How's it going, Janine?
Super good.
Super good?
Super relaxed. Yeah.
Me too. I had a few days off with Sarah and some friends. We met some friends in Ottawa. We had a time to go to the restaurant and do all the things that appear normal all of a sudden. So it was really, really cool. And for the first time in maybe a month, I actually slept a whole night. That was on Saturday without waking up. So I was like, whoa, I really needed that one, Janine. How about you? What was up this weekend?
Oh, well, I had a wonderful, really fun weekend. I went out to see my niece at her Thai lake or Thai, what does they call it? Thai Life Homestead. Yeah. So Thai Life Homestead, and she's got a YouTube channel. So we did a vlog of me visiting there, and we had so much fun. And she is the best cook. Oh my goodness, she's learned to cook. Like, they basically stepped right out of a really hectic city life and moved to, like, as soon as the illness hit and all the lockdowns, and they just went, we're out of here. And they bought a piece of property, spent all their money on this property, and they're doing amazing things. And we might all need to learn this stuff soon, what they're doing.
Absolutely. Actually, it's on my slide deck. We're having issues with China hoarding some of the grain. And also now what's happening in Ukraine is also going to exacerbate our supply chain management systems for the rest of the year. So yes, absolutely. So we'll get back to that. But before I do, let me bring this link down to the live chat so you guys can go and subscribe and watch that amazing vlog there with Janine and company. So there's the link in the live chat, guys. If you want to go click on that and subscribe and see what it's all about. And let's get into those microgreens a little bit later on. We have a project with the kids here this year also with the microgreens in my house. So, hey, a big welcome to all of you guys. Thank you for joining us here tonight. And I'm excited to be back in the chair, so to speak. Although I have to admit, I really appreciated the time off and the real sleep. I saw a few people in the comment. Oh my God, he actually had a night's sleep. Yes, I did. All right, let's get started. Janine, oh my God. I was trying to avoid the news this weekend, and just relax. But I took sneak peeks here and there. Like, wow, crazy shit is actually going on. Let me start with this one here. Just today, at 3 p.m. or 3:20 p.m., the judge finally reversed the previous decision to hold Tamara against bail. So she was denied bail the last time, and Pat King was also re-denied bail here a couple of days ago. But finally here, Tamara, the judge decided today, if you guys can go read the transcript, but essentially there was an error made in the previous ruling, and so they're reversing the ruling and letting her out on bail. I think it's $20,000. She's got a security and a surety person basically guaranteeing bail, if you want to put it that way. I wanted to ask the cards, why now? Why are they letting her go now? Why not Pat King? What's going on here? Is it because it's getting so obvious that this person should have bail? If you read the comments today on Twitter, people were saying, come on, Karla Homolka got bail. Like people who dismember people get bail. You don't get held without bail for mischief context. So what's going on today? I want to know why this judge reversed it. Is it because there's another play at round? Are they trying to delay as much as possible the repercussions on the government here? Because a lot of people were asking questions about this case. And we'll remind the audience too that the last judge said that they were remanding her without bail in order to keep the integrity of the court system. And we're like, well, isn't the Constitution say that you're not allowed to be unreasonably held without bail? So isn't that the first priority? And if you're going to keep faith in our judicial system. So there's a lot of questions happening around this. I'm curious your first thoughts, and then let's pull some cards.
Well, my first thought is, what I got is she wasn't anywhere near any court, and she wasn't rounded up. It was faked. The whole thing's faked, you guys, is what I figure. Remember when I looked at it, she looked like she was staying with relatives. And look at that person. They got the big mask on. Why would they put a big mask on her? Okay, she doesn't look anything like what she looks like. Okay, so who is that? I want to know. So I'm going to double check here.
Okay.
Because I'm not buying that's her.
I remember we did readings, and even her arrest looked contrived. At least the videotape portion of that looked contrived, and we asked if she was still in jail or not, and it looked kind of weird. Like I don't know. So it looks like to be a big media circus. Eventually, she will have her actual date in court, and maybe that is also going to be somehow. Oh wow. Okay, let's get
Okay,
into the
so
card.
see that 3? She's watching from afar.
Yeah.
I don't think she's there. And this is a unique situation. It's a unique situation. She's made deals in the past. Remember, we got that she was part of maybe on the backside, some kind of a white hat op, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that looks like. Okay, so I think she's in hiding myself. I don't think that's her. And this is the good military coming out. We've got the 3. I think this was all to kind of out the system and make her look good and make them look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually did. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering why on earth would you hold somebody with no bail for mischief? Does that even make sense? Right? So things that don't make sense are meant to make you think, wait, that doesn't make sense.
And I have to agree. Like something Jan Emily is saying, hey, I saw her live in Ottawa. It was her. Perhaps she was there playing a role here today too. I don't know. But the whole thing looks weird. It doesn't make sense. Even the reason why she was denied bail, a lot of criminal lawyers were like, wait, what? Like that makes no sense whatsoever. And again, just judging on the severity of the crime, people who do way worse get bail. So it was just fascinating. Well, let's do a quick upread then on Pat King. He was just denied bail here in his rehearing. What's going on with Pat King?
Yeah, and by the way, I wasn't saying she wasn't in Ottawa. Right up until her arrest. And the arrest looked really fishy, so we looked at it. And it looked like, no, she left and was with relatives. So she's done a deal on the back channel. She's part of the movie. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying she wasn't all the stuff up until the arrest. And then we didn't see her. Okay, we didn't see hide or hair of her or hear a word, except some rumors that got proved to be wrong, obviously. Remember that rumor?
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, I don't believe, I think this is part of the movie is all I'm saying.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. There was a rumors of her demise in jail too. Yeah. You're right. This has been a weird story altogether. I agree. Now,
none of it's making any sense.
And perhaps if they are acting for the cameras here, she might have come back today as part of this deal to be on camera for this particular hearing today. But it doesn't mean that she was behind bars. Just prior to
like whoever that picture is, though, that you put up, that doesn't really look like her, in my opinion. And why does she have most of her face covered? Like, that's absurd. Yeah. Like, are they still wearing those things? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. In Ottawa, I don't know.
Right now in Ottawa, yes, indoor gatherings, you're supposed to be wearing your mask. You're allowed to take it off at the table at a restaurant, but I'm assuming in court proceedings you would need to have your mask. I'm assuming right now that's still the case.
But it's pretty convenient if it is a movie.
Yeah.
Right. And last I saw, I didn't think she had her hair dyed like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look like her to me. I'm just saying, keep your eyes and ears open. If something doesn't make sense, it might not. Like this has all been a big fake right from the get-go. I'm not talking the rally itself wasn't. There was a lot of heart in it, but there's a whole bunch of things on the background that I think were contrived, and even by the good guys, not the bad guys.
Yeah, it's really weird. Some people are saying, oh, I don't need to get into it. I didn't read. Let's get into Pat King here. His bail rehearing was denied again. What's going on with him?
Okay, Pat King's also part of the White Hats. And whatever's going on, he's part of the movie too. Sorry, guys. Pat King's part of the movie. So he agreed to stay hidden or whatever out of public eye while they pretend this stuff's going on. Yeah. I don't think he was sitting in jail either. I don't know where they took him, but I don't think he was. None of this looks like he's in jail. None of these cards are I'm in jail. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he's hidden and he's working on the good guy's side.
Well, we're expecting really weird shit for the Ides of March. So if any of this comes out, like, it would make sense. Somebody's saying, hey, that looks like a sketch. Of course it's a sketch. It's not an actual picture. This is a hand-drawn picture, like the court reporter drawing these pictures. I understand. But still, they're usually they're usually better at depicting the person that comes up on the screen. So at any rate, weird story nonetheless. Okay. You want to see another weird story? Let me bring this one up to you. This one sounds a lot like a movie plot, but here we have armed intruders breaching Joint Base Andrews Sunday night as Vice President Kamala Harris was arriving. This sounds like what's that movie called? With Gerard Depardieu, Gerard Butler, something, The Eagle Has Fallen, or you guys put me in the chat, whatever it was.
Okay. Yep.
Anyways, that sounds really weird, that a joint base like this would have armed intruders. Let's pull some cards here and see what was really happening here. Is this a coup against Kamala? Was it a replacement? Wow. What the hell's going on there?
Okay, so it looks like a strategy they had planned. They had something planned, and it may have went sour right at the last minute. See that strategy card in the middle? They were thinking about looking at maybe taking her somehow out of the scene. Like they got to take those guys, that B team out of the scene soon. Things are heating up. It's March Madness. They got to take them out of the scene. A lot of people were... it was all over Telegram that time to get Biden out of the picture, whatever. Okay. And she's part of that team, right? So it looks like that might have been something they were thinking of running that movie scene. I don't know what exactly they would have done there. But then it went bad, or a disappointing end to it. So I think they abandoned it at the last minute.
Okay. Wow.
So that's interesting.
Well, it's just weird. Okay, somebody's asking, GC, do you feel okay? I'm just tired. Even though I slept all weekend, I'm still tired. And I went for a nap just before the show. Maybe that's why you think I'm tired. My voice is a little bit rogue. But I'm feeling a lot better. It's just weird. I'm catching up on my sleep. So thank you for that. Let me bring this one. Sarva Saha from the Discord chat. Hey, JC, Janine, keep up the good work. Question. Did the new financial system take over on the 3rd of March? Wondering why she's saying the 3rd of March, because Cliff just put out something today on his Substack. Let me see if I can bring this link up here. And he's counting down 5 days here to March 11th, which is the day that SWIFT will be, or that Russia will be cut off from the SWIFT system, ostensibly also predicting Russia's response to that and how that could change everything starting on or about March 11th. So I'll bring that link up, but let's see what the cards have to say.
I think it was a wish that was one date they were thinking about, but it got held up with that that hanged man. So there's a hold up, but it was definitely one of the desired dates. And this is in the past. And remember how I always say, Mr. T, it's one of his real wishes is to have this financial thing in place. That was something he worked really hard at. I always get it as something sort of close to his heart as far as something he wanted to accomplish. And so he's in the past of it. So he's somehow around it. And then within 6, so that could be hours or days with that card. And that 6 would kind of make sense to Cliff, what Cliff's saying. There's a success in it within 6. Just got held up. So everything's just,
it's weird. Okay. Let me bring up this thing as 0 day. So the countdown to March 11th here. Let me see if I can bring that link down to live chat. You guys go and read this. It's really cool. And subscribe there to see all of his excellent writings there. So let me bring that down. Okay. Somebody else was saying in the chat, QFS started today. Again, I don't believe that's the case, but it looks like all the pieces are being put in place. And of course, crypto was down just in the last couple of days here, and they're all expecting something weird with the new legislation being proposed by the Biden administration. Let me see if I can bring that link up. It kind of ties into this conversation here. Yeah, crypto's on a slide as news that Biden is to sign a crypto executive order this week. So let's pull in some cards here and see, like, what's this executive order all about? Is he about to introduce a CBDC and ban decentralized coins? Like, what's the move behind the pretendency here? And then there's a subsequent question, when is he going to be removed? That's from the Insider Access Pass. I'll get back to that in a second here. But let's get into what's the gist of the Joe Biden executive order here.
Okay, well, that's in the middle here. I don't think his orders are going to stick.
Okay.
Okay, so they got something ready to go here with that. There's a big breakthrough in truth. So before any of those things actually come to pass, that supposed Biden is supposedly pushing through or whatever, I think truth will come out before that. I think something else altogether different takes us in a totally different direction. So none of those things, those executive orders, I don't think they'll stick. If they're not for the good of humanity, they're not going to stick around. Truth and integrity is going to win the day, you guys. So in the meantime, there's all this other stuff. So it could even just be a distraction over here, or even a nod towards watch for changes in the financial world.
Or they could try to be putting some measures in place, knowing that Russia is going to retaliate to them being removed from SWIFT. But I agree with you. I think none of that is going to work at this point. There's a lot of momentum of change. And of course, if you look at the astrology Julie was pointing at in the last couple of weeks here for this time period, the universe is not favoring the controllers right now. It's actually favoring humans. Yeah, go ahead.
This is the advice. Remember that that's on the way out. And something totally different's being put in the meantime. See that 4 of Cups? There's something people aren't noticing. Meanwhile, those 3 cups that everybody's focused on, but it's that 4th cup. So it's just a distraction what he's doing there.
Wow. Okay. Katie's saying, yeah, I can't get into my Wells Fargo app. Yesterday, I had trouble getting into my CIBC app, or I could log in, but I couldn't see my account with my balances. And I called the bank and they said, oh, yeah, there's a little glitch problem. I'm like, yeah, but I can't see my account. I can't do transfers. I can't pay bills. Oh, we'll fix it soon. I'm like, okay. That was yesterday at any rate. And all through this weekend, we had a lot of problems. Quite a few emails, actually, and I was trying to respond to them while I was on vacation. But a lot of people were having trouble using PayPal to buy our pay-per-views this weekend, including the Astro Woo Finance and the Beyond Crypto Woo. And I called PayPal and they said, yeah, it's known right now, and like the levels of glitches or dysfunction is a known problem right now, but they said they were working on it. So it had nothing to do with our site. It had something to do with the PayPal servers somewhere. So I do apologize for that. There's nothing I can do, guys. And this is why also Janine and I were encouraging you a couple of months ago to consider the Insider Access Pass. At least if you already have that under your belt, you have access to all of our video series here on, and you don't have to deal with PayPal anymore as we produce these episodes. So maybe something to think about here. Not only that, in terms of the payment processing issues we're seeing, but also inflation at some point here. And I'll go back to that Substack. Cliff is talking about serious numbers here for inflation. We're going to have to adjust here at some point too. So maybe get in sooner than later would be a good strategies for you guys. Anyways, I'll leave it at that, but let's go back to this Substack. Cliff was saying here, let me scroll down. And I want to bring this up here. So essentially, he's saying that their actions and Putin's counter action here has basically sealed the fate of the petrodollar. So we're at that end now. We might be at that Nixon moment event starting this weekend. He's expecting that the open on Sunday night could be absolutely volatile. People are going to be puking, these types of visceral body effects here on Sunday night. Let's get into that. But what he says here is that gold learns to dance and silver leaps. I'll get into his tweets later, but when he talked about silver, actually, when he talked about gold, he said $20. Yeah, he was pegging gold at a $20 US bill. And I'm like, wait a second, he's not talking about a Federal Reserve note. So he's talking about an introduction of a new dollar here. So that would presumably mean that gold would be way, way, way higher in the Federal Reserve note. So he says it's going to be very wonky here very soon. What are your first thoughts on that, the gold and silver part, and this introduction of this new U.S., maybe continental dollar, Janine?
Well, the gold and silver, we've been getting that for a long time, so it doesn't really surprise me that they're going to finally make their moves. And then a new dollar, lots of people are talking about machines that are now giving them strange dollars, notes, and calling them notes, and just all kinds of weird activity around money machines, like getting money out of, cash machines and whatever. So there's been strange things going on for a long time. So I've been getting for a long time that there's a whole new system in place right up and under the old one that's crumbling. So none of that surprises me.
Okay, and let's get a beat maybe for this weekend on gold and silver. You and I were reporting, and Andy Sheckman was on the line last week too, saying it's absolutely ridiculous right now trying to get supply. We're getting reports now in Europe also that some of these accounts have been frozen and people can't create new accounts to buy silver and gold in Europe, or the delays are like 4 or 6 months or something like that. Oh, this is the wrong slide. Hold on a second here. Let's get back to my feed. Yes, I'm tired, guys. You take 2 days off and I'm all confused. Okay, so let's take a beat on, well, let's start with silver. Is this weekend a big momentum weekend for silver?
So it's been held up. Here's what it's doing now. So our wishes are coming true to some degree. It could really leap really with that 6. So that's great. And here's the near future. So we've got 2 6s around it. So maybe it goes to 60, or it goes $6 above what it is, or there's 6s around it. Yeah, wow. So that's interesting.
Well, the 6 goes to the $600 silver that Cliff was talking about.
Yeah, maybe it's the start of that run.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. I had it earlier on the screen. He's talking about $100,000 per ounce. I think that was gold. Hold on. Silver. Yeah. Yeah. Like, these are crazy numbers, but they're not crazy when you think of hyperinflation and what's happening right now. And then the totality of what they've been doing for years, maybe coming to a reality here where the rubber hits the road. Could you imagine? Wow. Andrew Lapensée is saying, yeah, it jumps to 600 an ounce overnight. Perhaps this is where this starts. I don't know. Let's look at gold too, because a lot of people are saying that Russia maybe, there are rumors that they would back the ruble with gold. Let's ask the cards right now first to see if that's in the cards for Russia.
Oh, that looks, that's the outcome. And it's karmically, the times ended, so 10s are endings for the facade. So it's karmically the time to end the facade of what they're saying it's worth. We know both those metals are worth a lot more. Yeah. And they've just been, holding on to that. They've been holding on to the reins there for their own benefits. Okay, so then we got this in the middle, which is a big movement card. And this is the outcome, which is your wishes coming true. So similar to what we said about silver. So they both seem to do some big leaps here.
Wow. Well, check this out. Yeah, I was following this a couple of months ago. I keep bringing it up once in a while. But Darlene is saying, yeah, go check silver out on the US debt clock, where they measure the amount of dollars being printed and what the value was. It's showing 2,869 per ounce for silver as of today. So that's absolutely crazy. But again, that's what the numbers of the dollars they've admitted to printing. So what Janine is saying is they've printed a lot more than that. We just don't know about it. So even this number is a shy fraction of what it could actually be worth. So anyways, guys, this is the other slide I was looking for. These are the new specials for this week afforded to the Beyond Mystic audience. Go to beyondmystic.net/silver. There we have the 5-ounce silver bars on sale at $329 over spot, and also the kilo bars at $269 over spot. Really great prices there for these metals. And here for the Canadian audience as well, you can find some at mfbullion.ca. There we have different types of 10-ounce bars, all at $495 Canadian over spot. So please do go check it out if you haven't already gotten some physical silver and gold in your possession. Okay, I wanted to bring this one up. Where did this go? Jan M. And I think a lot of people are probably feeling this too, so this is why I want to bring it up. Question for JC and Janine. I'm just so angry right now about everything. Is it the energy finally catching up with me? So a lot of people are feeling this weird kind of angst. They're angry. They're starting to see the news about the products, the ill effects, like everything's coming out fast and furious. And maybe we're just feeling the rest of the collective. There's this anger that Cliff High had been predicted when some of these truths would come out, these secrets revealed would come out. Some people would lose their mind and maybe take matters into their own hands. We're not advocating for that on this show, of course. But let's talk to Jen here. why she's so angry, or this collective energies. Is it just her realizing the amplitude of the war and the situation we're actually in? What do you want to say first, and then let's pull some cards.
That's really interesting. I just finished before I came on with you. I did my Tarot by Janine for tomorrow. So I did a big zodiac look on March Madness sort of a update, because people like a lot of updates when things get really heated up like what we got going on. So I looked at it, and in the the sixth house, so the house of Virgo in the big zodiac, and that's your daily routines, but it also concerns with your physical body and health. It was the Five of Swords, which is a fighting card. And I even got, there's going to be a lot of angst and anger. And that was the zodiac for humans right now. So daily routines and daily life, people are going to be feeling a lot of that energy all through March. Because, first of all, a whole bunch of the sleepers are going to wake up, and whether they like it or not. And they're going to get on board, and they'll be really angry when they realize all of these people they trusted and even, listened to over their friends and relatives that were red-pilled were completely hosing them. Okay, just putting it mildly, and literally had some kind of a thing that could have taken out a big portion of the population, and that they were encouraged to put that into their children and themselves. Okay, so if that wouldn't make you angry, then there's something weird wrong with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that's what I was getting too, but let's have a look.
Yeah, so guys, go check that out tomorrow on Janine's channel. In the meantime, somebody was saying, yes, the human resonance is pretty high today. I'm just putting up the chart now. Yes, it's acting up quite a bit. You're absolutely right. And Cliff did predict this weird energies from space too. And on that note, let me see if I can bring back his Pure Sleep product, which is back on sale now. Let's see if I have it. I had it earlier on the slide deck. There you go. So this is the Pure Sleep 2.0. I actually like this. It tastes a little bit better than the first one, easier to dissolve, and they're on special now. You can get the jars, also the replacement jars. I really like this. Anyways, you can use BeyondMystic as a coupon code to give you some extra rebates there. So let me bring that down to live stream. If you guys are having trouble sleeping, give it a try in these uncertain times. Janine, these weird energies from space.
Yeah, so people are experiencing zero tolerance. So they just hit a wall. She hits a wall and she's at zero tolerance. And they're just realize, because they've been, not everybody watching this channel, but a lot of people out there bending over. And then it's like, okay, enough. Finally, they hit their bending over wall. And stopped it. You know what I mean? I was talking to a lot of people today, like Ashley and I were out and about, and went to a few different shops. And finally, even in the shop, people working in shops took off the things on their face. Okay. And they have a choice. Some of them were still wearing them, but they were fearful people. Okay. But this one lady was like, she seemed like she was just waking up, because we mentioned, wow, it's so nice to see her smile. And she said, well, at first she felt guilty not wearing that. And then she said she started thinking about it. Why on earth would I feel guilty about just being a natural human and breathing? Why do I feel guilty about that?
Yeah.
What was unnatural, what was going on, and all of a sudden she's just being a regular human, and somehow that's bad. It's like we've been made to feel bad about ourselves. So people are hitting the wall and realizing how foolish they've been if they went along with it, and how absolutely wrong it all was. So we got wake up call. We're going to see a lot of more woken up people this weekend.
Wow. Yeah, I think in a big way, you're absolutely right. Hey, I'll get into the PayPal tip jar here in a moment. I just want to show to you guys the pyramid that is up for grabs this evening. Let me see if I can bring that up on the screen here. There you go. And this is Iris. And Iris will go to one of our PayPal tip jar donators. Here we go.
Look what I got.
From Ascension Organics. Today I have here one of my purple pieces. Her name is Iris. She's made of amethyst crystals and aluminum metals. So I've received tons of messages asking what piece would work well for stress relief and anxiety, even sleep problems. Well, Iris is great for that, because amethyst has all those healing properties and more. So I would place Iris in the bedroom, even kids' bedroom, also because amethyst is known to have like protective properties. She also has the Flower of Life in silver. I'll give her a quick turn around so you can see her. So yeah, I hope you like her. See everyone. This is
All right. Thank you so much, Carla. If you guys
I
are
might
looking for
one
that.
of those.
Oh, what's playing? What's going on? Is that you talking? Oh, wait. Hold on a second, Janine. I couldn't see you on the screen there. Hold on. Which one is that? Wow.
I think it's Iris. Somebody sent it to me.
Wow. That's awesome.
Somebody bought, I just got it actually. Ashley and I each got one of those, and I haven't handed Ashley's hers yet, but yeah, she's going to love it. I think it's the same one, and it's incredible, and they're beautiful.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
really cool. And let me bring that up again here. For those of you who are looking to get one of these into your own possession, you can find them at ascensionorganites.com. This is Carla's new website. Of course, she's moved away from Etsy, now has her own website. And there also, if you use coupon code BeyondMystic, you'll get another 10% off of these amazing creations. Wow, that's amazing. A big thank you to Carla for this, of course. Okay, PayPal tip jar. Okay, I'll log in there and I'll take a few questions. Let me see if I can take a quick one here from Incest Pass again before we go. Let me see here. Janine. Okay, this is interesting. It's a woo question, Janine. This is from Funny Fuller. Janine, who or what was trying to contact me a week ago? I've had strange things happen in my home and thought there was someone sitting on the end of my bed. Thank you, Janine and JC. From Funny Fuller. Who or what was trying to contact me? What's the message?
Well, she was definitely being contacted. This is the past. So they've been trying to contact her maybe for a while from far away. So it could even be from uncharted territory. So I feel like from galaxy out in the galaxy, and or not an Earth energy. So it feels off Earth, we'll say, energetically. But they're coming in love and in kindness and making a connection. And she may have a big download. If she might get a big moment, because this is a really well aspected tower. Usually the tower is quite upsetting, but with an ace next to it like that, it would be positive, which would be a revelation. So she could have a real revelation coming here. And it could even be an emotional, because it's water ace, an emotional revelation. She's going to know herself deeper or know the world deeper emotionally. And it was already given to her, but it's a matter of, it's working itself to her consciousness.
Okay.
So it's been placed, the knowing in her with that visit. And she should come into the knowing of it. So she'll have an moment. And
like an unlocking.
Yeah, they planted the seed there with that visit.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. Parisan is asking on the show. Let me go back to this question, see here if we can bring it up. JC, can you please explain spot price for silver? Okay, let me bring this back up. So spot price, guys, if you go to Kitco, for example, you can find the spot price. This is basically the market price as it is fluctuating as people are bidding to either buy it or sell it. That's where you get your spot price derived from. And of course, when you're buying from a bullion dealer, you're going to pay the spot price plus a commission based on the type of silver you're buying, so that the broker can store it, move it, count it, do the accounting, the websites, pay their staff, their phone lines, all that stuff. So that's the difference between the spot price and the premiums here that you're seeing on the line. I hope that helps. That is one way to get into your possession silver here. And a lot of people ask as a subsequent question, well, should I start with big bars first or smaller denominations? I would say typically when you start, you want to start with the smaller collections, like smaller coins, so that when you want to sell in the market, you can start selling as the market goes up, as opposed to selling a big bar and then you're out of silver and the market is still going up. So, but once you've accumulated for you enough smaller pieces, you can get into the bigger bars. And don't forget maybe gold also in your percentage there in your stack. Very important in these days here, as all of these rumors are set to have gold-backed currencies around the world. Okay, so let's go to, so thank you, Parisan, for that question. A lot of people are asking, new to all of this, of course. Veronica Torres, let me see if I can bring you on the screen here. Veronica, love that name. Jenny and JC, you both are fantastic. I truly appreciate you both. Well, thank you so much. And Lucas, you guys rock. Question, is there or was there a tyrannical hierarchy of beings controlling the human race? Okay. Well, short answer is yes. So I'm trying to figure out here how we're going to ask that to Janine. Well, okay. What can universe tell us about perhaps who is really running the show behind the C word, the deep state, or whatever you guys want to call it? What kind of cards tell us about those guys? Some people call them the bug. Cliff High calls it the bug. And maybe their timely demise here, as we are seeing maybe now a breakthrough of freedom for humanity in this particular lifetime.
So yeah, like you said, the short version of that is yes. Yeah, and it's a group that like us to be in. So it could even be several different groups, maybe not just one with that card. And they like to do harm to humans and wreak havoc, and they like you in despair. So like I say, you taste better energetically when you're feeling despair, fear. So they all got this agenda that they need you in fear, despair, destitution. And it never made sense to me. Like, so we incarnate here, physical beings on earth. Earth is abundant, but so many people are in despair and lack of abundance. Doesn't make sense. I knew there was something wrong with that. I never bought for 1 second that because I was born to a sort of a certain level of potential in every way, right? That I couldn't enjoy life to its absolute fullest. Why shouldn't I? It's my birthright to be a human. Okay, and I think we're going to come back to that. It's like we've been taught to expect nothing really. And just sort of like, if we're lucky, we might be able to survive it here. That's absurd. That doesn't make any sense to me. No way. I'm finding absolute freedom and love here, even in these weird times that we're in. I'm going to rock this place. And I think we all need to learn that. We all need to learn that we deserve and are worthy of an incredible lifetime. The earth absolutely wants to give it to you. It's just that a whole bunch of maybe baddies. Okay. And it's not being very specific about who they are. Okay. But they're kind of working together, even with our bad governments and people in the club or whatever. Okay. So they're in cahoots with some humans as well. And they'll handpick the kind that are power hungry. So the whole way our government and supposed elites is. That's why we got to absolutely do away with kings and queens. Are you kidding me? As if they're better than us. Have a look at the British royals. Seriously, they're inbred and literally lizards. Okay, are they better than us? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Right? No way. Nobody's better than you or lesser than you. Yeah, look at those two. And who are they? Neither of them look like who they're supposed to be, by the way. So that looks like a big part of the movie too, by the way.
Apparently, he had to enter the back door there at the Prime Minister's residence also today because of all the protesters. Of course, the majority of Canadians agree, so don't ask stupid questions, JC. Peggy's asking, who won the pyramid last week? Last week, it was Rose Fiore. Rose Fiore. Anyways, Carla is in contact with you. Rose, if you haven't received that email, check your spam folders or email me directly and I'll put you in contact with Carla. And I think the one before that, we've settled the one before that. That's already done. Okay, let's move to, I guess, my next question here. Who was it from? Emily. Oh, yes. Oh, this is a good question, actually. You and I have talked about this before. Emily, how was The Simpsons been able to predict so many things? White hat or dark hat op? Love and blessings to you both.
Can I just say what we've gotten on that before?
Yeah, let's do it.
We've got that they have availability to the same kind of maybe advanced knowledge and a way to sort of fold time. Okay. Like watch the movie Deja Vu with Denzel Washington in it from a few years back. I forget who else was in it. Of course, I only remember Denzel because he's my favorite. But yeah, where they literally had this way of knowing how to fold time, and it was a real eye opener, that movie. Yep. And it'll tell you how it's done. It's actually telling us the truth there. But they have the ability to do that too, and I think they were at least owned and operated by the bad guys. So the dark cult. What I call, because we can't say the real words here. Okay, so they had the ability to do that, but I believe that the white hats also have that ability, so they could predict things. And for a long time, the movie industry, they were utilizing those things, combined with their plans for humanity they've been working on for thousands of years. Okay, so and then they would create these things that would out their truth, because part of their karmic, they have to do it karmically. Like this is universal karma, is they have to tell us what they're up to. And if we watch it, I guess we're agreeing. I guess that's a flimsy way of agreeing to things.
What was that other movie? I think it was Ryan Reynolds. He was in he would walk into a room, like in a circular room, and then he'd find himself walking behind himself. What was that one? Do you guys know in the chat what I'm talking about? I think it was Ryan Reynolds.
I can't remember that one.
Yeah.
There's been so many that just out all of this stuff they already do.
Yeah. Some are cool. I barely remember the Deja Vu. Was that the actress in that? Was that the girl from the Huxtables? What was that show? What was that black guy's name? Who got arrested for, was it rape or who am I talking about?
I can't remember anybody else, like I said, except Denzel.
Okay. Who am I talking about? What's that guy's name? Oh my God. Cosby. Yes. Remember the guy in the Cosby Show? He got arrested a couple of years ago in the Me Too movement.
Bill Cosby?
Yeah. I think his daughter is in that movie. Oh, in the show, I mean, Deja Vu. Anyways. Okay. No. Well, maybe it's not her. Wait, is it her?
I did a deep dive on Bill Cosby, and I don't think he's as bad guy, even though everybody's like, I think he was just taken down by the cult.
Well,
I think they took down his reputation because he was trying to get out, or he wasn't wanting to play along. Right.
Lisa Bonet. Yeah. It was the girl in the Cosby Show. But they can
change history, you guys. They can go back and they can place people as witnesses, and look at all the stuff they do. They can do it.
Well, what's your take on Michael Jackson? I've
channeled him twice, and absolutely at both times. And I had no idea going in what I'd get. Absolute beautiful soul, light being. He might even still be with us, or he's on some other dimension and ready to, make a nod to the humanity again. And he was absolutely taken down by the bad guys.
And he was accused of pedophilia and all of these things, and then I'm like, huh. It's like they always accuse you of the contrary of what you're doing, right? So I was like, imagine that. So it's hard. You have to go a little back in time and realize that, oh my God, were we lied to? Of course, we were lied to in Ottawa. Like, just for me, this is just a real experience. I'm there. They're all terrorists and bad people. I'm like, no, they're just normal Canadians. What are you guys talking about? The mainstream media. So that makes you question everything that they're
doing those things. That's why they're trying to show regular folks how these guys do it. So these things are acting themselves out. We had George Floyd. That was so in your face. If you didn't catch on to that in the first 10 minutes, okay, I don't know. You're not paying attention. And then everything that happened with the truckers. I mean, it's so obvious what they're doing. It's almost jaw-dropping that people aren't seeing it, like people that aren't. I've lost all respect for anybody who doesn't get it right now. Zero tolerance.
Oh, okay. I got to tell you this story. Wait a second here. I wasn't going to do it, but let me do it. Okay. So I went to this place this weekend. It's kind of like a cocktail bar after dinner with Sarah. It's called the Moscow Tea Room. Is this the right one? Yeah, it's the right one in Ottawa. Anyway, so I was sitting at a table. It never struck my mind that I would be entering into a problem on Friday night, okay? So we were sitting there for cocktails, and we're just minding our own business, blah, blah. And then there's this table of 4 that sits next to us, mother, father, and 2 daughters. And as soon as they get there, like you could tell the energy's like, rah, you know, and one of them's crying, and Sarah and I are looking at each other like, what's going on? And anyways, so the young girl, I say young, 20-something, maybe 30-something, she looks at me and she says, do you support Ukraine or Russia? And I'm like, wait, what? Who starts a conversation like that? And I couldn't get the gist of why she was asking. And then her sister says, well, because we're sitting in the Moscow tea room. I'm like, wait a second. The owner is not even Russian. This is just like a theme restaurant. Like the owner is like Arabic or something.
Hilarious.
And of course, CTV News had to make an article about that, or a video about that today. Let me see if I can bring that up. Like, it was just so surreal. I have it here, Instagram copy. So many people were complaining and giving hate mail to this restaurant, blah, blah, blah. And the owner came, okay, I have to play it. It's just so crazy. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring this up here. We have to play this. Okay.
The lounge here has become a target for hate mail and hate messages. People calling in, screaming at staff, putting up bad reviews online. Now, the owner says they aren't even Russian. They have nothing to do with Russia. In fact, they've stopped selling Russia vodka, and now they're only selling Ukrainian vodka. And they are now planning a fundraising event for next Friday, with all of the proceeds from that evening going to humanitarian efforts to help the people of Ukraine.
Oh my God, Janine. And here I was, I'm trying to avoid all like weird stuff this weekend. I'm just having a drink with Sarah, and I'm like, I get into this huge. Oh my God.
Okay, but you did go into a place called the Moscow Tea Room.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What were you thinking?
Well, Sarah loves tea. And they have all these amazing teas at this place. Like, it's a really cool tea house. They have martinis. Sarah doesn't drink, but she goes there for the tea. And so she's like, oh, I'd love to have a nice tea. So I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, let's go for a nice tea. Wow. It was a difficult Friday night. And I realized, wow, we just went from one huge propaganda mind fuck of the last 2 years, and I just walked into a new one unbeknownst to me. And of course I was like, wow, I know the owner anyway, so I was like, this is just ridiculous. He says, yeah, dude, it's ridiculous.
We've been living in that mind, that word you said.
Yeah.
We've been living in that for our whole life. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's why everybody's going to be mad when they start figuring it out.
Well, here's the thing. Love, Hannah. Yes, let me bring that up. Here's the thing. They were crying. They kind of were weird. I said something that maybe I shouldn't have said, but my higher self responded before I could actually think of the answer to her question, right? So I said something. It wasn't mean, but it was kind of like a slap in the face, kind of like, I think you're missing the point to what's going on, or something like that. At any rate, 2 hours later, like, they were drinking hard. Like, they were actually drinking the vodka and all that, whereas we were having tea. But anyways, DJ started. This is new for Ottawa, right? We just opened. This is a couple of days old. We opened on March 1st, and this was March 4th or something like that. So the DJ arrives, and everybody starts. And then suddenly, that table, they were all like dancing, hugging, having fun with everybody. I'm like, you see, we all need this healing right now. And this is why this is so important, that we can dance, sing, whatever. And this was all I guess removed from our daily experiences for the last 2 years, and we need this, the love and that frequency, and dancing is the big healing aspect of all of this. So we ended up dancing with those people who at first were like, ooh, it was a tough one, Janine. Okay. Oh my God. Hey, what's this going on? Now it's 3,060 for the US desk clock. Okay, I should bring that up while I'm live. I think that's hilarious. Okay, what time is it now, Janine? What time? 48. Okay, we have time for, I guess, some more questions. What do you think, Janine? You want to do more?
Yep.
You feel like it? Okay. Sky Girl MDA question: mass mandates to expire on airplanes on March 18. Is it being extended? Is that Canada? Because I know your premier in Alberta today was calling on Trudeau to remove the travel restrictions. So I'm not sure where Sky Girl MDA is from. Do you know what she's talking about? The March 18 one? Is that Canada?
No, I hope that's true, but I don't think it is. Yeah,
I don't think so either. I'm not sure. I could have been Australia.
Let's hope so. Let's hope this weekend changes everything. Like, because I'm done with the narrative. It's absurd. I am so done with it.
Oh yeah. Well, let's ask about JC leave. Why not? Where do you want me to leave? It's my show. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay. So why don't we ask then for Canada? Let's take a pulse on that, because people keep asking, okay, when travel? Let's take weeks, days, months, hopefully. Like, let's call it the removal of all travel restrictions. Let's take a pulse on that.
Oh yeah, they're getting really called into, like, because this is an ending part, end the facade. People are starting to yell about it and wake up en masse. So if it lasts, yeah, people are getting really angry. Like, this is that card I was talking about that was in the 6th house, and what Cliff High is talking about. Okay, but it might take all the way till the end of the month. So, but it's going to be pushed for this whole month. Yeah, like 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
I hope that's days, but it's probably weeks.
This is in British Columbia, I think. Yeah, this weekend I saw this tweet too. Like, these are happening everywhere in all the cities in Canada still and around the world. Yet the mainstream media is not reporting it. It's like, oh no, it's nothing's happening. Yeah, and same thing with DC and the truckers. Like, they're not reporting it at all yet. If you look at social media, you can find the convoy there. Like, it's surreal what's happening right now. But the whole focus is Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. And I think at the same time, they're making us look over here because they're about to change something over there. And that's why Janine and I have been very, very busy talking about everything: gold, silver, crypto. Like, educate yourself. So again, guys, Astro Woo Finance available now. This is the month of March. The Ides of March are in there. All the astrology behind those days are in there, as well as the last crypto woo. We talk about quite a few new coins that we're helping you trying to navigate here for the month of March. Anyways, all of that is available in the Insider Access Pass. Please do go give it a try here before we have some more of those weird payment processing issues and bank issues. Like, it's just going to accelerate here. And like Janine said, it's not like it's going to be forever, but it's going to be annoying. So if you like buying these shows and be on time to watch these shows, perhaps buy them beforehand with the Insider Access Pass, and also get your silver. Okay, let me see if I can get another one. I used to work for American Airlines. Okay, Sky Girl was from the States, maybe. Okay, let's ask for the States. Well, was your question just for Canada, the answer you gave about the restriction, Janine?
That was for Canada.
You want to ask for the States now?
Sure.
Okay, let's ask for the States. Yeah. And is it tied into whatever was happening to Kamala? This weird gunman thing. To me, I like, we're going to find out about this one. There's a bigger story behind this. There are 2 armed intruders. Like, who are they? Were they Russians, of course? Anyways, we'll probably find out in a couple of days.
It looks like the States might happen sooner. On the back channel, it's all ready to go anyway. It's just a strategy that things are still in place. Of course, they got the shadow government. Of course, we got a shadow government too, in my opinion. But even more out front there is obviously Mr. T's in charge there. So everything's just a big movie. So it's all ready. And we got a big yes. It's ready. It's more imminent even than Canadian. They always make Canada just suffer a little more, it seems.
Yeah.
And Australia and sometimes UK, various different hot spots, but Canada's one of them for sure. Yeah, that it's literally just waking up the sleepers from their fearfulness. Whatever's left playing itself out. So it's not gonna. It's even shorter there. Could even be a week or so.
Wow. Well, that's exciting for sure. Okay, let's get into the PayPal tip jar. Sherry, this is cool. Several months ago, I had a dream. I was holding a rod, pure white light streaming out the end. It was either trying to cap it or fix it. The light didn't hurt me. What does it mean? I'm a registered nurse for 22 years and over the profession. Huh. She being taught about healing modalities, maybe that she's going to be working on in the future?
She's a healer. She's been one for lifetimes. She came from that. So she comes from a long line of healers and lifetimes of healing. And she's learning to direct it. She's learning to, because this woman takes something and then she's very direct. So she's learning to direct it so it does more, brings more light into the world. She's learning to bring more light into the world consciously. So it was just teaching her what she already is, who she already is, and what she can already do. So even if she just emulates what happened in the dream, she'll bring more light into the world.
Wow.
She just has to make the stance and assume the position and let it come out her sword or whatever.
Wow. That's
Her
really
heart or wherever she
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
to direct it from.
Wow. You said you would ask about Biden's removal. Yes, I did. Thank you, Planet Warrior. I did say that. What was that in the context? We were talking about Harris, maybe. Anyways, yeah, because you mentioned also too that they have to change the stack here
Yeah.
of the pretendency. Let's pull some
Yeah.
cards on that. We have 5 minutes left in the show, and then I have another comment on the screen also. Thank you, Planet Warrior. I'm just getting back into the chair here. I'm not as fast as I usually am.
2. Look, it could be any time here. They got a few dates they want to do it. So they're just playing around with, and it might have something to do with the military stepping up or stepping in. And there's a few different ways they might even do it. So that's still being debated moment by moment. That doesn't look like they know exactly the time, but like it looks like it's again imminent. So they think about it. Maybe even they juggle it daily or hourly, what to do with it and how to do it, how to play it, depending on other things that are happening. So it's a juggle, and it's not saying exactly when, but it's absolutely soon.
Okay, I'm expecting weird things this weekend too, and
Yeah.
even here in Canada. Let's just piggyback on that last question. Cliff was also predicting that perhaps during or after or on about the Ides of March that we would get into these nomenclature in the news coming out of what he called a reconstituted Canada. Let's take a pulse on that too. Is that still in the cards here of a new Canada emerging perhaps here for springtime? And Bobby says, JC, come on, man, you had a nap. Let's do an all-nighter. I'm like, nobody, that's going to happen tonight. No way all day.
No. Okay, so the fact that if this is a movie, and in the movie, Queenie left us probably in 2018 or 19. Why would Trudeau be seen to go visit her? Okay, so he's visiting the passed over already. So what is that saying about him? Quite interesting. So if it's a movie, what is this playing itself out here?
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting that he'd go visit the Queen, right?
Right
out of the blue.
Well, again, here too, are they signing documents? Are we redoing the, in the London Bridge has fallen scenario, a deconstruction of the Commonwealth? We are, of course, Canada, part of this Commonwealth. Is that what's really happening behind the scenes here with the new people in the palace? Janine? That
already happened, it looks like. Whatever's going on with Canada, it's already a done deal. Deals have been made, and we're already out of the Commonwealth at least a year ago. So, yeah, this is all part of the movie, guys. Strategy. It's all just for visual effects. Okay, and it's going to come out really soon with that 3 there. We're in all new territory. Canada's nothing that they say it is right now.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, indeed. I had another question on the screen, but I lost it now, so I'm not sure. Well, we're almost. Oh, we have 2 minutes left. Okay, we should probably pick another question. Let me see. Okay, I can do one more. Holy shit, it's hard to get back in the saddle. Oh my god. Oh no, I'm still thinking of this Moscow tea room thing. It was just, it was literally a surreal situation. I could not believe my eyes, and Sarah too were like, wow. But again, the level of programming is deep, and a lot of people still, and it shocks me. My core.
Virtue signaling. So their own Canadians are being called all these names when they try to fight for these people's freedoms and their children's freedoms. They're bad guys. Okay, but we don't know anything about what's going on in Ukraine, but we want to save them, and they're good guys, and it must be somebody else is being a bad guy. It's absurd. I don't get it. I got some flack last week because I retweeted something
somebody said, "Hey, you didn't fight for your children, so give me a break. Don't pretend you want to fight for Ukraine," or something like that. And I agree with that. I agreed with that comment. But there's a few people on my Twitter that did it. But I'm like, well, it's true. I mean, really think of what's going on. It's wow, surreal. I think we're all long in the tooth, Janine, with all of this. Like the person was saying in the chat earlier, like, man, who was saying something? Oh man, I want to bring this up. Who told me this weekend? Something to do with our bodies are meant to be able to are capable of holding a stressful situation for up to a year and a half or something like that in survival mode. After that, our body starts to break down. Have you ever heard this term somewhere before, Janine? Do you know where that
makes sense? I haven't heard it, but that makes about sense because right about a month ago, I was kind of done with if things didn't turn around, and they really did. Like we had a lot of things that all of a sudden became really, if nothing had shown itself then, I'd have been just done for.
Yeah. And Cliff had predicted, remember in November and December, he says, oh, by the end of January, February, we're going to start to see some positive stuff. And me too, I was like, thank God, because there's reports like, oh my God, you get to those moments, you're like, wow, what crazy world we live in. Hey, thank you so much, everyone, for the love in the chat. I appreciate that. And somebody says, Ocean Odell, let's support JC. Hey, do you know I'm almost at 80,000? Where'd that go? I'm at 68,300. No, I'm almost at 70,000. I have to do the math, right? Hey guys, if you're watching this now, please hit that like and that subscribe button. I'd like to punch over that 70,000. I'm really happy about that.
Right on.
I've had a little bit of a run here without any troubles from YouTube, so I appreciate you guys hitting that like button and that subscribe. Of course, you can do so also here at Tarot by Janine, 145,000 strong and growing, absolutely amazing. And for sure at Sending Ravens here at 89, almost at 90,000. Hit the like there too. And Janine, my last question, yes, okay, I remember what that was. It's all about the food situation here in Ukraine and also China. We had this article on the weekend, the food crisis here about to get worse after China says the winter conditions are worse in terms of the grain and, of course, the Ukraine situation here. And we're talking about this redux here of what we used to call the victory garden. So people making their own gardens here during wartime scenarios to try to shore up the lack of production of food. Let's ask the cards here, generally speaking, what they can say to our audience members who might not be thinking right now of growing their own food, but how if they did, the situation could be a little bit easier here moving forward with all of the conditions, not just the grand solar minimum, but the wartime scenarios and the cabals doing their thing here. What can we say?
Really good idea. It's a good idea in general for so many different reasons. Like your food's going to be better. We have this in-between time when we're getting away from giant corporations producing our food, which we now know they probably haven't been doing good things. Think about all the cancer situations. Where did that even come from? Yeah. Like, how many members in your family get cancer and you start going, okay, something's weird's going on. Like something weird's going on. Humans are generally healthy. Why is everybody not healthy? Yeah. A whole bunch of the population, okay? Because we've been fed all of this stuff. You know what I mean? It's been put in our food, and so we're letting these big corporations and big pharma and governments run this stuff, okay? So that's the dark cult's been running everything, okay? So as that changes, we have to change everything, and that includes food and where we get it from. So we go local. Everybody gather around your local farmers and support them and let them, get producing some really good, healthy food. And if you know how and you're that way inclined, get it going on in your front yard, never mind grass. I could never understand lawns. What a waste of space and an irritation. I don't even get it, right? Dig up your lawns, you guys, and plant things that you can eat. Okay, or let somebody do it who's a gardener, because I won't be planting things I can eat because that's not my forte. Unless I absolutely have to, I'm not going to. But I'm going to let other people. I'm going to encourage people in my community to use my space.
Somebody says, hey, learn how to can your veggies and fruit. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And check out the Thai Life Homestead here on how to produce a little bit more of your own food. You can check that out. And I'm assuming they're off grid as well, Janine? Is that
more or less. They're on their way off grid. They got good heat and they got a generator. but they're not because it's so cold. They haven't entirely went off grid. You know what I mean?
Right.
It is in well, it's just into BC, but so yeah, they still have to rely on some grid.
Okay, very cool.
Working on it. And when you said canning, that's interesting. You said that because I'm going to have my niece on in the next 3 weeks here on my Sending Ravens, and she's going to talk about food storage and canning and things like that. She's going into that. And even on that video we showed, she cooked this amazing ramen meal, and she has the whole recipe she used underneath it. It's just incredible. So she's really learning how to be self-sufficient in the food department.
Wow, cool. All righty, guys. If you're looking for some really cool teas, you can visit the Moscow Tea Room here in Ottawa. It's a really happening place. And you can also dance on Friday nights and Saturday nights with some really cool DJs. Look at this crowd, man. It's so cool. Let me see if I can bring this picture up. Yeah, it's a cool place. Go check it out.
Really cool.
I had to put that in there. All right, guys. Tarot by Janine here on YouTube. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And also here on Sending Ravens. I love you guys. We'll see you soon. This was the Monday night edition of Tarot Readings by Janine. Have a good night, folks. I love you. Take care.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.